All right, hockey fans. So, what we got tonight? That was a weak clap. Let's try this again. All right, hockey fans. That's much better. Devils-Canes game 2. So, as an aside, with my Panthers doing relatively well, I'd like to see this series with the Devils and Canes. And let's at least get this to 6 games, okay? Yeah, I don't want my Panthers, if we finish off the series, I don't want them sitting too long, but you never know. Both could end up still going 6, 7 games. Nothing has happened in my Panthers series just yet, okay? Now, in terms of this game, from what I'm seeing online, I think Schmid's still going to be back in net for the Devils. I'm not terribly against that. I didn't think he was awful, and he's had such a good run, and it's not like Vanacek has been lights out, right? He had 2 bad games against the Rangers. The other night against the Canes, he only allowed the 1 goal, but the 1 goal he allowed was not fantastic. So maybe what the Devils feel is like Schmid's their best chance. They're going to go back to him and see how that's going to rock and roll. Meanwhile, speaking of rocking and rolling, that crowd in Carolina is going to be lit on fire. This is a tough task for the Devils here, okay? Anybody trying to win in Carolina is a tough task. I'm going to go with 3-2 Devils, but I'm not overly confident about that. I'm really hoping that they split in Carolina because the Canes know how to win. I don't think anybody wants this to be a 4 or even a 5-game series. I'd like to see the Devils do well, all right, give themselves some confidence going into next season, because that way that creates chaos in the East, and I'm a fan of chaos. We'll just put it that way. The Devils are now, hopefully, for their fans, one of those teams that's going to, in quotes, be permanently in the playoff discussion, and you don't know what's going to go on in the conference. You don't know where Boston's going to turn, if they're going to try to run it back or if they're going to go for a rebuild. Pittsburgh, Washington, some of these older teams are starting to obviously slip and slide. I don't suspect the Lightning are going to be on the list of teams that might slip out, but Devils need this experience if they're going to have hopes of going further and further into the playoffs later on in their young core's future. So, playoff hockey, man. There's the difference between my games. It's every other night. I got my Panther games last night. I got these games. The difference between the two, it's like when my Panthers are playing, I'm locked, I'm loaded. The heart is going right. And for these games, I kind of feel like I just want to be inebriated. I'm not gonna be inebriated, but it's just a very relaxed feeling for me, as opposed to, especially the last 2 months, 3 months really, have been like every night the Panthers need to win. We need to win. So it's just been stress, stress, stress. So when I get an opportunity to watch a game without stress, I enjoy it. So, all right. Let's see I hope this kid does well. I hope they put him in. I hope he does well. Let's make this a series, New Jersey. There's no score after 1. All right, so no score after 1. This is a rough one that they scheduled for a Friday night. It's not exactly riveting. It's not exactly excitement-laden hockey. Devils had 2 power plays, including 23 seconds of 5-on-3. They didn't look that good. Canes had a power play. They looked okay. Each team has about 8 or 9 shots. Nothing spectacular. Nobody's had to make any great saves. It's pretty much it's a boring game. I mean, I could make it sound like something for the next 5 minutes. It's boring. It's boring. Move on to second period. All right, so it's 4-0 Carolina after 2. Now, on one hand, you're going to say, New Jersey, what are we doing? This is the second round of the playoffs. Pick it up. On the other hand, they got blown out the first 2 games against the Rangers. Now, I don't suspect that the Canes are fixing to pull what the Rangers pulled 2 years in a row now, which is blow a 2-0 series lead. I don't really foresee that happening. But it's not like these games are in New Jersey anyway. Now, it doesn't matter if you lose 8-0 or 2-1. If you lose both in Carolina, you've still lost them both. But the Devils have shown the ability to come back after getting blown out 2 times in a row, which is what's fixing to happen here again. Schmidt, I mean, the last goal, the 4th goal, Schmidt comes out to play the puck. Nobody else was going to do it, so he had to do it. And he puts it off into the side, and the Canes player gets it back. Puck goes off the post with Schmidt out of position trying to make that save. Scrambles to get back into the middle. Meanwhile, Carolina's just passing the puck to get it in a good shooting position. The Devils are just not covering anybody, just absolutely leaving this kid out to dry. And now it's 4-0. That was after one that got called back that should get called back. It was definitely goaltender interference. You can't run into the goaltender and flatten him and then put the puck in the back of the net. If you could, it'd be called football. But that's not how we play the sport. All right. So much for the Devils. Jeez, this is going to be a short series at this point. Both teams, I mean, Toronto's got to win on the road, but at least the Devils get to go back home. They're going to be in a hole. Let's move on to 3rd period and see if some kind of miraculous bullshit happens. All right, so, jeez, 6-1 Carolina. Where do you even start with that? Okay, so I know that there's the Devils fans that are saying, we lost the first 2 to the Rangers. We got to kick the first 2 to the Rangers. Okay, that's legit, but that's when you took out Vanacek and put in Schmidt and he went on that run. And you all know that. I don't have to remind you of that, okay? I mean, you can't put Schmidt back out there, right? That's 2 games in a row you've pulled the kid. That's it. That's all you can mess with the guy's confidence. So now you're gonna go with Vanacek, who ain't exactly been lights out. Let's face it. So as soon as I say this, I'm going to jinx it. So I'm going to say it anyway because it's not my series. But I don't see how New Jersey even wins a game. I mean, nothing. I saw nothing out there. It's not even competitive, and it just goes to show you how the playoffs are a completely different animal. The Canes and Devils could play 10 times during the regular season, and they're gonna be competitive games. You know, one might win, one might lose, but it's not. You wouldn't expect what you're seeing here in the playoffs. But the experience of having been in the playoffs, the style that the Canes play, which is, with all due respect, I mean, just coma-inducing. Jeez. But I get it. It works. I'm not knocking it. It's just not exactly the most exciting brand of hockey in the world. But it works. Okay, I get it. You know, I don't want to get ahead of myself. But if this ends up a sweep, if it ends up a sweep for New Jersey and Canes, if Canes end up sweeping, I need my Panthers to win this series as quickly as possible. Let's put it that way. Because there's a lot of people in the chat, are you sure the Panthers can handle the Canes? And I'm like, let's get through Toronto. I'm not counting anything, but of course I am watching the series with an eye of if the Panthers win, who would we play? I mean, right now I definitely would prefer the Devils. I think anybody right now seeing how the Devils are playing on just simply goaltending, I don't think they got the goaltending to finish this off. And so the Canes now, I mean, I want to say they're going to have an easy time, but I mean the Devils aren't even making them work. Okay. Just bad. And it gets carried away. You know, you start, that score gets ahead of you. Once it's 4-0, they make it 4-1, and then somewhere there in the 3rd period, the Devils just completely lost their composure in terms of being able to put coherent line rushes and passes together. It just got bad. It got bad quick. There's not much else you could say. Excuse me. I'm not going to edit that out. So now the series goes to Carolina. Excuse me, to New Jersey. If I'm a Devils fan right now, I'm like, can we get this to a game 5? That's really the question for you all, is right now, can you avoid a sweep? Can you get it to game 5? Can you show any signs of life at all? Now, if either, if Carolina gets up 3-0, forget about it. Forget about it. I'm not seeing what the Devils can do. I know the Devils, everybody told me, not everybody, after the series with Boston was over, a lot of people told me, watch out for the Devils. Can anybody keep up with the Devils? Can the Panthers keep up with the Devils? Well, yeah. Yeah. I recognize that they probably look good against the Rangers, and that's the flip side to all of this that you're seeing out there on the ice now is what in the F and F went on in New York. If Gallant's not fired yet, they've got to be watching this going, get rid of this son of a bitch. And I'm a Gallant fan. I like Gallant, but 2 years in a row for the Rangers, blowing a 2-0 series lead, it's not a good look. How did this New Jersey team beat the crap out of the Rangers, and then now, yikes. I don't know how they fix it, because this is Carolina's game. And I'm sure the Carolina fans will tell you, I'm guessing you'd tell me, I don't think you guys, you're playing your game, you're not playing bad, but I don't think you guys are like playing spectacular. I think, in my opinion, what I'm seeing is New Jersey just can't keep up. Can't handle even the pressure of what's going on. So, but Carolina, every step of the way, is well positioned. And last thing I'll say is, if it was Canes versus Panthers in the Eastern Conference Finals, how many games would it take for somebody to score? Because there's not going to be any room. Our forecheck with their defensive positioning, you think this is boring. It would be exciting because I'd be a Panther fan, but I'm sure the fans of other teams are not looking forward to our forecheck versus Carolina's defense. I'm fairly confident that that's probably a very regional-esque type of ratings that would happen. So, all right. Wasn't much to say about the game. It was bad. Last one was bad. This one was bad. Come on, New Jersey. Come on now. It's so bad that we might have to switch series, because now game 3 of this series I won't be able to cover because my Panther game is on the same day. Tomorrow, Kyle and I are going to stream the Vegas Edmonton game, and I'm going to do a recap of that. I haven't done a Western Conference game. I did some last year. That's when Nathan McKinnon got the hat trick, and I was able to finally hang the hat over the flash on this camera, the only time I've ever done it. So I'm looking forward to that. I wonder what happens, though, if Marchessault or Smith, if Marchessault or Smith, you can barely see their pins on Kermit's lapel. I got Sean Thornton over here. I got Marchessault and I got Smith. So if Marchessault and Smith get a hat trick, do I still throw the hat, or out of spite do I not throw the hat? I'll wear the Vegas shirt though. Yeah. All right. I'm going to shut up now. I'll be back. No podcast tomorrow. That's right. Tomorrow's my day off. Weekends are my day off. Monday through Friday I have a podcast that's for YouTube members. Patreon supporters only. Links are in the description. It's $3 a month. And that's it. New Jersey, please do something.